Hey guys, so I'm doing it so you can see next to me. I'm not fully because I'm going to be reading this book right here. It's The Tale of Benjamin Bunny, and Mum said that she wanted me to read it because I have a bunny called Benny, and sort of my mum calls him Benjamin, and he's not called Benjamin, he's called Benny. But she got me this book all about the tale of Benjamin Bunny. So I thought for this video I'll be really nice and read it to you as best I can. But this also might mean I'm not in frame, but I'm here. So as you want to do it. The Tale of Benjamin Bunny by Beatrix Potter. In case you don't know what Benjamin Bunny looks like, he's the one with the hat. He's this one with a hat. One morning, a little rabbit sat on a bank. He picked his ears and listened to the trot of a pony. A gig was coming along the road. Jig. It was driven by Mr. McGregor, and beside him sat Mrs. McGregor in her best bonnet. A bonnet is a hat. As soon as they passed, little Benjamin Bunny slid down to the road and set off with a hop, skip and a jump to call upon his relations who lived in the woods at the back of Mr. McGregor's garden. This is Benjamin Bunny. I don't know. That wood was full of rabbit holes, and in the neatest, sandiest hole of them all lived Benjamin's aunt and his cousin, Flopsy, Mopsy, Cottontail and Peter. Old Mrs. Rabbit was a widow. She earned her living by knitting rabbit wool mittens and muffets. I once bought a pair at a bazaar. She also sold herbs and rosemary, tea and rabbit tobacco, which is what we call lavender. That's a fact. Rabbit tobacco is lavender. Little Benjamin did not very much want to see his aunt. He came round the back of the fir tree and nearly tumbled upon the top of his cousin Peter. Oh, that's cute. Peter was sitting by himself. He looked poorly and was dressed in a red cotton pocket handkerchief. "Peter," said little Benjamin in a whisper, "who has got your clothes?" Peter replied, "The scarecrow in Mr. McGregor's garden," and described how he had been chased around the garden and had dropped his shoes and his coat. Little Benjamin sat down beside his cousin and assured him that Mr. McGregor had gone out in a gig, and Mrs. McGregor also, and certainly for the day, because she was wearing her best bonnet. Peter said he hoped that it would rain. At this point, old Mrs. Rabbit's voice was heard inside the rabbit hole, calling, "Cottontail, Cottontail, fetch some more chamomile." Peter said he thought he might feel better if he went for a walk. They went away hand in hand and got upon the flat top of the wall at the bottom of the wood. From here they looked down into Mr. McGregor's garden. Peter's coat and shoes were plainly to be seen upon the scarecrow, topped with an old tam-o' shanter of Mr. McGregor. I don't know what that is. Oh. Little Benjamin said, "It'll spoil people's clothes to squeeze under the gate. The proper way to get in is to climb down the pear tree." Peter fell down head first, but it was of no consequence as the bed below was newly raked and quite soft. It had been sown with lettuce that left a great many odd little footmarks all over the bed, especially little Benjamin, who was wearing clogs. These little clogs. I feel like I've just given myself a purple, but yep, that was good. This is how proper Benjamin Bunny looks like. Now we know how he's got it. Little Benjamin said that the first thing to be done was to get back Peter's clothes in order that they might be able to use the pocket handkerchief. They took them off the scarecrow. There had been rained on during the night. There was water in the shoe and the coat was somewhat shrunk. Benjamin tried on a tam au chateau, but it was too big for him. Then he suggested that they should fill the pocket handkerchief with onions and a little present for his aunt. Peter did not seem to be enjoying himself. He kept hearing noises. This is Peter Rabbit and this is Benjamin Bunny. Benjamin, on the contrary, was perfectly at home and ate lettuce leaves. He said that he was in the habit of coming in the garden with his dad to get some lettuce for their Sunday dinner. The name of little Benjamin's papa was old Mr. Benjamin Bunny. The lettuce certainly was very fine. Peter did not eat anything. He said he should like to go home. Presently he dropped half an onion. Little Benjamin said that it was not possible to get back up the pear tree with a load of vegetables. He led the way boldly towards the other end of the garden, then went along a little walk on plank under sunny red brick wall. The mice sat on the doors steps, crackling cherry stone. They winked at Peter Rabbit and little Benjamin Bunny. Presently Peter let the pocket handkerchief go again. They got amongst the flower pots and frames and tubs. Peter heard noises worse than ever. His eyes were as big as lollipops. He was a step or two in front of his cousin when he suddenly stopped. This is what those little rabbits saw around the corner. Little Benjamin took one look and then in half a minute or less than no time he hid himself and Peter and the onions underneath a large basket because there's a cat. The cat got up and stretched herself and came and sniffed at the basket. Perhaps she liked the smell of onions. Anyway, she sat upon the top of the basket. She sat there for 5 hours. I cannot draw you a picture of Peter and Ben beneath the basket because it is quite dark, and because the smell of onions was fearful, it made Peter Rabbit and little Benjamin cry. The sun got round behind the wood and it was quite late in the afternoon, but still the cat sat upon the basket. Sorry, I'm not holding it straight, but I need to be able to read it. At length there was a pitter-patter, and some bit of mortar fell from the wall above. The cat looked up and saw Mr. Benjamin Bunny old Mr. Benjamin Bunny prancing along the top of the wall and the upper terrace. He was smoking a pipe of rabbit tobacco and had a little switch in his hand. He was looking for his son, who was hidden under the basket. Miss Bunny had no opinion whatsoever of cats. He took a tremendous jump off the wall on the top of the cat and cuffed it off the basket and kicked it into the greenhouse, scratched off a handful of fur. That cat was too much surprised to scratch back. She was too scared. When Mr. Bunny, old Mr. Bunny, had driven the cat into the greenhouse, he locked the door. Then he came back to the basket and took his son Benjamin by the ear and whipped him with a little switch. Then he took out his nephew Peter. Then he took out the handkerchief and onions and marched out of the garden. Oh, they look so sad. When Mr. McGregor returned about half an hour later, he observed several things which perplexed him. It looked as though some person had been walking all over the garden in a pair of clogs. Only the foot markings were too ridiculously little. Also, he could not understand how the cat could have managed to shut herself up inside the greenhouse, lock the door upon the outside. When Peter got home, his mother forgave him because she was glad to see that he was found. His shoes and coat. He had found his shoes and coat. Cottontail and Peter folded upon the pocket handkerchief, and the old Mrs. Rabbit strung up the onions and hung them for the kitchen ceiling with a bunch of herbs and the rabbit tobacco. The end. So these are the original Peter Rabbit books. I'm not going to read them. So yeah, this is the Peter Rabbit book. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this as a video. I thought it'd be a bit different. I did read a book ages ago, and I got to like chapter 4 or something, but it was really long. But this is quite a small book, and my mum wanted me to read it anyway because but yeah, that is the tale of Benjamin Bunny, and it's written by Beatrix Potter. There's a film, Beatrix Potter film, which is really good too, but I really like this book. So hopefully you guys enjoy this video, and yeah, I will see you in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.